Alright, so here's a log I took yesterday while trying to work out some of the fueling. What I'm really looking at is the AFR in blue down here, but also things like speed and other things, boost. So coming up on a pull here, looks like nearly a 60 punch. Kind of starting to get into the boost a little bit there. And here we go. Up to 22 pounds of boost. I'll go back. Okay, this is what I was trying to show earlier. So ramps rapidly up to 22 pounds with the wastegate control, levels off at 22 and holds it. So right now I'm trying to bring in 12.3-ish AFR down to my equivalence ratio setting in the tune, right? So here's the tune. If you were to go, let's see, if you were to go engine, power enrich, and the EQ ratio, this is where I have it kind of leveling off. As I'm building boost, I'm slowly introducing more and more fuel. The equivalence ratio is the commanded amount of fuel, the commanded AFR target for the computer, and then I'm adjusting the MAF sensor to get me there. I like to level off right here just under 11.5. It's a safe amount of fuel, but also still giving me some power there. And that's in the power enrichment mode. So then to achieve the desired power enrichment, I am adjusting the MAF curve here. So this is the amount of hertz or frequency that the mass airflow sensor is seeing and what the value should be at each frequency. So that's what I'm currently working on adjusting. To do that, what I like to do on any kind of tuning, because tuning is literally just dialing in the percent error, is I made a couple different things here to give me percent error. So what I first did is I took a look here at what my commanded AFRs should be. And my commanded AFRs, let me use my mouse here. As you can see, I'm commanding it above a certain MAF frequency to be between 11.3 and 11.4 and trying to hold steady here around the 11.4, 11.5 mark on AFR, okay? There is data populated out here. It's just, I never hit those points while driving around for this quick little log. But if you look here on this, so now I need to adjust 12.33 AFR down to about 11.5. So to do that, I go here to my mass airflow frequency AFR error. And to do so, I basically just took the signal from my wideband versus the computer's commanded AFR, which it's measuring in that other tab there. And I did the math in order to get the percent error. So at this particular point that's highlighted here, I need to add about 3%. Now, when I look at all of this stuff, the negative values are where I need to pull fuel out. You can see it's pretty lean in a couple points down low. No big deal. But once I get into boost, then it is a big deal. I need enough fuel to keep the cylinder pressure stable and all that stuff. So right here, if you look, I'm really only a few percent off from where I really want to be here. So it's getting dialed in closer. It is a time-consuming process of driving around, ripping down the street, capturing some data, doing some math, adjusting the curves, etc. But, you know, 22 pounds of boost. Once I get these dialed in within a couple percent of each other, I'm going to up this to about 26 PSI of boost and then do this same process again. If you were to think about where the boost comes on, it's going to be from about 3,500, 4,000 RPM on to 8,000 RPM. So once I get this portion kind of dialed in, then if I want to increase boost pressure, I'm only adjusting, let's say, part of that, that curve, that power enrichment curve. So where it really starts to take a drastic slope up here, this will be where my fueling adjustments will be coming in later. Down here, this is like my idle and cruise type fueling, just because of where it falls on the mass airflow measurement. But once I get 22 PSI dialed in, I'll do it for 24, 25, 26. I plan to run this car once fully dialed in around 29 to 30 PSI on this turbo before it runs out of a lot of efficiency. So then I'm just going to be changing the slope of this curve down on this end to match what my desired boost is. So going back to this little graph here, 22 PSI, it's holding really steady, which is nice, you know, and I'm getting up there 75 miles an hour. If I keep going over here, I'm holding 22 PSI. It looks like I got off the throttle there, right at about 80 to cruise. And then, you know, similar situation like over here, because this is all decel. If you look at this green line, this is deceleration. You can see the RPM in red decelerating. But here's another pull. So this looks like, what am I starting at? 30-ish. So like rolling into the throttle, 30 pull. And load comes up on the engine, 60, 70, 80% load. Boost at 20, 21, and just ripping from 30 to 60. AFR between, you know, high 11s and 12s. So, you know, like I said earlier, a few percent off where I really want to be, and this is a critical few percent, but I dial that in and we're in good shape. So if we go a little further into the pool here, looks like I got up to 95 miles an hour. Looks like I hit about 90 and then let off because the boost drops. Let's see here. Yeah, boost climbing. Yeah, so looks like a 30 to 90 pool, give or take. Just rolling in, you can see the load picked up almost a full load there on the engine, which is because we're spooling a turbocharger. Yeah, so 100% load, 21, 22 PSI. We start out real good on our AFR here. So I'd be backing fuel out, backing fuel out, backing fuel out, backing fuel out. Now I'm adding fuel, right? My target was around 11.5. And so this little bit of difference is what I'm capturing here with this percent error table that I made. And then what I'll do is I'll just multiply that percent error against my MAF frequency curve here. So if I were to, I don't want to do it right now, but if I were to do this, I could paste, multiply by percent or by percent half. At this stage of the game, multiply by percent half because I'm, you know, less than a handful of percent. I really want to dial in without overshooting. So better to make adjustments by half once I'm this close. Now, if these AFR errors that we were seeing were, you know, 10, 15, 20% off of where I need to be, then yeah, go make the full percent and then we'll fine tune from there. But because I'm in kind of the fine tuning stage, looks like we'll be doing percent half there. So, and again, all I'm doing is trying to have my MAF curve correlate what the engine is expecting to see on its power enrichment there. So what this would be is just basically where I'm setting how much fuel I'm putting in. And I'm basically trying to align this other graph here and have it done so that it doesn't over inject too much fuel and then have to start pulling itself back out, because then you start getting this kind of integral flip-flop there. And once I get all this hit, I can highlight and smooth some of these little peaks and valleys here, but this is actually a really smooth curve. What you don't want to see is a big jagged dip because of incorrect data in that area. Just your car is just gonna freak out, and under boost, that's the last thing you want to do. Right now, while I'm doing this, because this is kind of an initial tune that I'm putting together for the car, I'm not running very much spark ignition timing. So if I go to my high octane table, I have a pretty low overall spark in the high load cells. I think I'm probably running 16 degrees of timing, give or take, at full load. So if we go here, I don't know if I have it on here. Okay, yeah, so at 100% load, you know, I'm 20 degrees of ignition timing here, 21, 22, 24. Actually, it's higher than I thought. Yeah, so I can back out a lot of timing here if needed. Right now, just from the volumetric amount of air that's coming in, not so worried about this on the spark side. As I move up in boost, I'm definitely going to be looking for things like knock retard and other stuff. But on ethanol, you're not going to get much knock retard. That's kind of the problem. It won't knock until it's too late. And in my experience, I'd rather creep up on ignition timing so I don't damage bearings in the bottom end. But yeah, I mean, pulling out a couple degrees of spark as I move up in boost pressure is not a big deal. So just a quick update on what I've been working on over the Memorial Day weekend and so forth is dialing in that fueling, and then I'm going to start up in the boost. Thanks for watching.